Steve, would you mind telling us about your backstory, where you grew up, your sporting background, maybe the highlights of your sporting career?
Where I grew up in Bo'ness, which is a wee town near, how can we say, Falkirk, in between Falkirk and Edinburgh. Um, from there, I lived in Africa and also Spain, and then obviously came back to Scotland. Um, Sporting, I got involved boxing when I was 8 years old. Had my first fight at 9, and I remember it well because I got presented my first trophy from Dick McTaggart, yeah, and which was a big thrill. Went on, and I think from the age of 13, then I won Eastern District Scottish until I was senior at 17, and just carried on, with that. For internationals, went to Schwerin in East Germany as it was in 1982 for the European Championships. Um, I lost out on a cut eye in the semis to the East German. Um, got a Commonwealth Federation silver medal. I boxed at heavyweight, which I wasn't a heavyweight, but anyway, I'd done it. And yeah, and then once again, the internationals, Scottish titles, whatever. Um, Turned pro, um, which was something I always wanted to do. I won a British Eliminator, got to number 6 in the UK, fell out of love with boxing. I took a year to discover that, and yeah, I just fell out of love, and I didn't watch or think or talk about boxing for the next 3, 4 years. Then I got back into it, and I became a coach, got into the training side, and done some through Africa, Namibia, Spain. Ended up working in a gym in Spain, had a lot of fighters there. I think the biggest thing was Peter Harrison and Willie Lemond. Training him, went to Mexico City where he fought Eric Morales, and that was in a bull ring, 65,000 Mexicans, which was like, wow, yeah. Still brings a big smile on my face. Willie fought very well, but the altitude's a killer. And everyone talks about it until you do it. Yeah. But you can't prepare for that unless you're living there. And yeah. Um, so back in Spain, trained the likes of Lever Kirakosyan. He was the Russian European super featherweight champion. Roberto Santos, middleweight European champion, Spanish kid, very good. Joe Calzaghe came over before he fought Roy Jones. I didn't train him, but I was involved in it, and it was just nice being around people and many others. Also, UFC guys came. They would use my gym to learn their boxing skills, as opposed because they would normally be going to Las Vegas to do all that. But this year they decided to choose me, which was great. Yeah, so I had a few of them. I'm trying to think of the name, Skelton, and then there's another group. You'll need to excuse my memory. It was something I never thought I had. I just assumed I was having a lot of pain. I couldn't sit in a car, I couldn't bounce, I couldn't do my training, I couldn't even hold pads. And I started taking painkillers, which I'd never ever done my whole life. And being what I was, I thought, I can work this out, keep training, try things, but the became just unbearable pain all the time. So um, I was actually in Spain at the time, went and paid for a private MRI, and when I left the hospital, they called me and says, come back to see the doctor. Went back and basically told me there's a 7 centimeter tumor in my brainstem, and yeah, that was that. So I was actually flying back to Scotland the next day, and which I did. I was on the Friday. I took the Saturday to myself just to go and tell my family and friends, and I went for my last run. I'll remember it. And even, yeah, I knew my balance was getting off, which it had been, different things. And Sunday morning, I went to the A&E along with the desk and explained everything to them. They took me in, they done another MRI and said, yeah, and sent me to the Western. I was there for 10 days while they sorted out what they had to do, for this operation. They done the operation, which was lasted over 13 hours. I had 2 strokes during the operation. So I'm blind in my right side and I had a major left. This left me with, that was November the 7th, 2013. So it's left me with a few problems. A couple of main ones is a thing called cerebellar ataxia. I lost control. My speech went. I couldn't swallow. For years, they wanted to give me a trachea. I fought against that, and I'm glad I did. Um, it's yeah, you just don't have control of things. It's a nervous thing. It's my brain stem got shaved during the operation as well, and I'm dizzy all the time. I'm not so much now, but I was thrown up a lot through the dizziness. It's but it's like everything else in life. It's something you live with, and yeah, you just get on with it. And the longer you have something, I think mentally, which I talk about mentally, I think the boxing and the discipline, my lifestyle's really helped me along with that. That was quite easy, eh? That was an easy decision. My son Zach is a commercial diver, so he dives, wherever's need be, is mostly Nigeria and all over the world. Anyway, so they use a bell, dive bell chamber, and certain dives they get what they call bends. Um, and it was him that introduced it to me, told me all about it. Something I'll tell you, he says, but if you can go in the chamber drunk, you'll come out sober. Yep. And yeah, so he found this place, brought me along, and that was, I think, 2015, I think, yeah. And I've been coming ever since. Yeah. Well, I feel it's helped me a lot. The oxygen, and it's maybe hard to explain because we sit here with all other people, and they have all sorts from MS to brain problems, whatever. But everyone's looking for that miracle. But what's funny is while they're all looking for that miracle, they still come to the oxygen, and we all do. I can't speak highly enough about it. I sit here and the last 10, 15 minutes of my session, I can feel around my neck because I can't turn my head. I can feel it start. It's like little pops. It pops, and my movement. I relax. Um, I sleep well that night. It helps a heck of a lot with the pain because I'm in constant pain with the nerves. This does help. And the first thing you eat after it, your taste buds are like, wow, it's whatever you have after oxygen, everything tastes so good. With me, it's got to be a coffee. So yeah, that's my thing. No, it does help me. And I do believe year after year, my brain function has got so much better. My speech has got so much better because from not speaking to speaking. I still choke now and again, but nowhere near as much as I used to. So yeah, it's really me. I'll be coming here all the time now. I'm here. Yeah. Right. So if you say the most challenging, I now come once a week, and what I do once a year when the hotels are cheap here, I book in for a week in the hotels, and I'll come maybe twice a day and get saturation again, build me back up, and I just once a week to keep that level. Um, well, I live in Lauriston, Falkirk, so it's an early start for me. I get the bus to the train station, I get the train through, and then I get down here. At the minute, it's murder with them working on Leith Walk, um, and then do the session and get home. So it's a full day, but yeah, it's I enjoy it. It's a challenge for me in all weather, whatever it is. Um, yeah, that's probably the challenge. If you're thinking of coming, you know, I really think, well, why am I coming? Why am I going to do this? It's not going to be a one-hit wonder. That ain't going to be happen. That's not going to happen. You have to. It's like everything in life. You want to make yourself better. You're going to have to sacrifice, and sacrifice isn't a word people like to hear, but at the end of the day, it is. You want to come here, you're going to have to do your protocol, and you must do that, to get the full benefit of everything. It's otherwise just pointless. So you get your protocol, and then if you have to come once a week, or twice a week, or once a fortnight, whatever it is, just to keep your levels right, you've got to do this. But as I say, you're not going to come in, do a session, and think, "Wow, I'm great." I've not seen that, but long term, the benefits are massive. They really are. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a true story. So I kind of, as the years have gone by, I'm not a morbid person, I'm a positive person. Yeah, I do have my routines, and I think in life you need a routine, um, especially if you're not working, because it's the worst thing ever, not working. I'd rather go and dig a hole every day of the year than do no work. Um, yeah, going back to that, I've always said, I don't, as I say, I don't plan too far ahead. So my philosophy is make the best of every day. And by making the best of every day, for me, it could just be, I get up, I do what I do in the morning, I go uptown, I have a coffee, have a little walk, and that's really it. And a good friend of mine, he's heard me say it many times, just and he loves a tattoo. So about 3 months ago, he sent me a picture. He went, "Steve," he's a Scouser. He goes, "Steve, I got this tattoo on my shoulder," and he's put on it there. It says, "Make the best of every day." And I was like, "Wow!" It's like, yeah, so chuffed, eh? So yeah, good guy.